Diabetes Foundation calls it one of the biggest health threats in the 21st century. The World Health Organization estimates that deaths from diabetes will rise by more than 50% in the next decade, and World Diabetes Day is tomorrow. So today we have Morgan McDearmon and Clayton Isenberg here to tell us a little bit about these rising statistics and what maybe we can do to try to lower these numbers, at least in our own lives and the lives of our loved ones around us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Well, first of all, tell me a little bit about diabetes, because I think it's one of those diseases that everybody knows someone who has it, but don't really know what it is. It's not something that you can really grasp, like cancer, or you know what I mean, that it's just so physical, or a broken leg, you can't really see it. Tell me about what it is exactly.
Right.
Well, diabetes in a nutshell is a disease state and presents in one of three ways. Either the patient doesn't make insulin at all, or they make a diminished or decreased amount of insulin, or sometimes they make enough insulin, but their body just can't use that insulin effectively to lower their blood sugar, so they end up with a high blood sugar.
And I think part of the confusing thing is people have type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes. What's the difference? Can you explain to me how you even know how things are diagnosed now?
Right. Type 1 diabetes used to be referred to as like early onset, and you'd usually see that in children. But these days, sometimes it presents later in life. And type 1 diabetics, they don't make insulin at all. But type 2 diabetics, they may make some, but it might not be enough, like I said, or they might make enough, but their bodies can't use it effectively, and so they end up with high blood sugar.
So how's the disease controlled? How's it treated?
With type 1 diabetics, they have to use injectable insulin. So they're either injecting it multiple times a day, or they have an insulin pump that continuously injects it for them. Type 2 diabetics, in the beginning, they can usually be controlled with medications, but as the disease progresses, they usually have to end up using insulin as well.
So let me ask you, with these numbers rising and with the expectation that it will continue to do that, how do we even combat this? How do we as a society work to lower the numbers of folks who are affected by this?
Right. Well, type 1 diabetics, you can't prevent it. But you can, exercise, keep your blood levels in check and all that, and prevent future complications. With type 2 diabetics, diet, exercise, things like that, they can prevent from getting the disease at all.
Wow.
So really, diet and exercise and watching your weight and what you eat can drastically help prevent type 2 diabetes.
Yeah, and Morgan, I was going to ask you, as far as folks not knowing really how to manage their blood sugar, or I think we've all been through the day when we're lagging and you just need that shot of sugar, or your body craves something like that. Is there anything we can do as far as recognizing in ourselves we might not be diabetic, but maybe we're pre-diabetic, what it is that we can do to make that change last?
Right. Well, it's helpful, to check your blood sugar. Like if you are, feeling like you have some of the signs and symptoms, like increased thirst, increased appetite, you're tired a lot and all that, you should go out and get your blood sugar checked, because the earlier you catch it in type 2, you can start to make those changes in your lifestyle.
Wonderful. Well, Morgan and Clayton, thank you so much for coming on the show. And hopefully this information will help anyone who's maybe been on the fence about whether or not to get it checked. Just go to get it checked and see if you can get on a plan to better manage it so you don't have those complications later on. All right, UAMS Health, they are always there for you, able to answer a lot of questions, or at least refer you to the right people, and you'll hopefully be able to manage any health problems that you have as a result of that. We will be right back